In this episode of FTD Facts, we're talking about the Jamaican cricketer Chris Gayle. Now, he's one of the most entertaining players on the cricket pitch, and no surprise, a bunch of you guys have been requesting for us to do a video on him. And here's just a few. People like Shiro Chan, as well as Shivans Trishal and Beast FC all want us to do a video on Chris Gayle. So welcome back to another episode of FTD Facts. I'm Leroy Kenton, and at the end of this video, I'm gonna be doing some Instagram shoutouts. So you want to stay tuned to see if you'll be featured in those shoutouts. But before I get into all of that, I'm gonna get into some basic facts about Chris Gayle, and then we'll get the ball rolling from there. Also, Chris Gayle comes from my home country of Jamaica. Yeah, he was born Christopher Henry Gayle, and his date of birth is September 21st, 1979. And of course, he's one of the most recognizable faces in all of international cricket, and his very larger-than-life persona actually completely sets him apart from any other person on the cricket field. There's nobody like Chris Gayle. You can just see when he's playing, he's just having such a good time out there. Now, starting off, he played for Kingston, Jamaica's Lucas Cricket Club, and he said that that actually saved him from a life on the streets. In terms of his debut matches, he first played his debut as a world-class cricketer for Jamaica at the age of 19 years old. Later, he played his ODI debut in 1999, and that was against India. And then his T20 debut was in 2006, and that was against New Zealand. Okay, so now let's talk about his nickname, Crampy. Okay, so if you're familiar with Chris Gayle, you know that he has a little bit of that laid-back personality, and yeah, that has a lot to do with his upbringing. So much so that as a teenager, he was called Crampy, and what that means is pretty much somebody who is incredibly lazy. But we know when Chris Gayle is out there, he's tearing it up on the cricket pitch. I guess off the field, he's a little bit laid back. But speaking of nicknames, it seems like he loves nicknames. He's known as World Boss, Chris DeLion, even sometimes called himself Universe Boss. And then when you go over to his Instagram, you see he's known as King Gayle. I mean, like being born in Jamaica myself, there's a ton of nicknames. I have a bunch of them. But some common ones also that he's known by is Gale Force, as well as Gale Storm. But before we continue with the facts, I want to know, what's your nickname, or what are some of your nicknames if you have more than one? Also, if you're a big fan of Chris Gayle, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Okay, so let's talk about his World Cup record now. Chris Gayle managed to set a world record in the ICC Cricket World Cup in 2015. He was the first man in history that a bunch of people actually got to witness this thing happening. He was the first person to actually manage to hit a double century, and he managed to reach 215 in a World Cup match against Zimbabwe.
Then the red balls. That's gone a long way. Short, smashed. That's a nice sound off the bat.
He actually passed Gary Kirsten, who actually years before scored 188. But Chris Gayle's record of 215 was very short-lived. It only lasted a week, guys. Like, I feel like really sad for him, because Martin Guptill actually scored 237, and that was against the West Indies. But hey, at least Chris Gayle could say that he did have the world record for some time, and that's more than a lot of people can say. Chris Gayle also holds the world record for slamming the fastest century in professional cricket. During the IPL 2013, he took just 30 balls to reach his 100 against the Pune Warriors. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. That's just how Chris Gayle does it when he's out there performing. Now, real quick, I want to talk a little bit about his resentment that he has with the Jamaican government. So Chris Gayle has been very upfront with his talent and what he has to offer for the West Indies, but he says that despite coming from Jamaica, he has a little bit of an issue with how he feels that the Jamaican government actually treated him. He told the Telegraph that he resents the Jamaican government for not recognizing his status as one of the best performing cricketers in the whole entire world, as well as they didn't grant him some small favors on certain occasions when he was asking for them, so that rubbed him the wrong way. And this is what he said, and I quote, "I'm so disappointed in the Jamaican government. I'm just asking for a little decency and a little acknowledgement. I've scored 2 triple centuries, and I never even saw a camera at the airport. That hurt. I have done so much for hospitals and schools and as a sporting ambassador, and all I do is ask my country twice for a small favor, and neither time they say yes. I have seen other people who have not done anything at all for Jamaica receiving lots of privilege. I have paid my taxes, millions to be exact, and I will never ask this government for anything again. I will not give them a third chance to turn me down. And those are some pretty intense words. Like, you can see that it's coming from a very, very deep place from him. So yeah, he's just asking for his government to show him a little bit of recognition. But speaking of recognition, Chris Gayle should definitely be recognized a lot for this. So of course he's done a lot for Jamaica, and he's not even a selfish guy at all. He's super generous when it comes to giving to charities. He actually started his Chris Gayle academies in Jamaica and London, and they aim to improve the access of good quality education, training, as well as employment for at-risk young people located in Jamaica as well as in the UK. And that's just another thing that makes this guy so awesome. He's not just hoarding the money all to himself. Even though he just has some grudges against the Jamaican government, he's still helping out in Jamaica. Now guys, did you know that Chris Gayle used to have an irregular heartbeat? Now there was some time ago where he suffered from the problem of the irregular heartbeat, and this was something that caused him a ton of problems and difficulties, especially during his early days in cricket. Chris Gayle actually had to retire hurt due to this problem, as well as when he toured as a young man in India. But luckily, however, he did undergo an operation and he got the disorder corrected, so he doesn't have to worry about that anymore. Whew. Now I mentioned that Chris Gayle owns his own charities, but did you know that he owns his own pub? So yeah, in 2013, Chris Gayle, he actually opened the Triple Century Sports Bar and Grill in his native hometown of Kingston, Jamaica. Now this is located close to an establishment that was owned by another former West Indies captain, and he was Courtney Walsh. Courtney Walsh actually turned up at the opening of Chris Gayle's pub, and the pub was actually named an international star bar by the company Heineken. But that does it for this episode on facts about Chris Gayle. I really hope you guys gained some insight on who he was. And yeah, as I promised, let's hop over on Instagram to give you guys some shout outs. Here we have the sarcastic dude, and this is what he says. I'm Suraj, watching your videos from India. Learned more from you than from school. And that's actually pretty awesome to hear. Yeah, FTD Facts is the new school. And that's just proof. Big respects, man. Okay, maybe not exactly school, but we give you guys a ton of information. You can't deny that. Now moving on to Caption 2017, and this is what he says. Hi, from Nepal. Please include this photo with my name Sanjit Karki on your upcoming FTD Facts. But like, dude, like, isn't Nepal hot? What are you doing wearing a hoodie? But yeah, as I promised, I featured this in a video, so big respects, man. Thank you so much for supporting FTD Facts. Now let's move on to some females. Here we have Bella Rose 307, and she says, hello from Jacksonville, Florida. I love your channel. Very informative videos. Yeah, I was starting to think that it was just guys that watch FTD Facts, but it's cool. We got some ladies from Florida. And we actually have another female, a huge fan of FTD Facts, Instagram user, The Music of Harmony, and this is what she says. Hey, great job on all your videos. We appreciate the hard work and really enjoyed watching. Love from Ranchi, India. As well as she threw in a note that says, thank you for wishing us on Independence Day. Loved the video. But I don't think you love our videos just as much as I love your sorry. Yeah, that's a real awesome look you got going on there. Now guys, don't forget, if you want to be featured in an upcoming FTD Facts episode, all you gotta do is real simple. Follow me on Instagram, FTD Online, as well as the link is down below in the video description, and just send me a photo of yourself and let me know where you're watching FTD Facts from. Pretty simple. So hop on over there. I'll be taking a look at some of the first people that actually send in photos, and then I'll be featuring you in upcoming videos. And of course, here at FTD Facts, we take requests from anybody, so leave your requests down below on what topics you want us to cover next. Okay, so we've come to the end of another episode. Be sure to check out some of our videos on other people that we have highlighted here on FTD Facts. You can also check out the content that we've created about different parts of the world. Whatever you want, there's something for everybody here on FTD Facts. Thank you guys so much for being awesome. Stay educated, and I'll see you in another video.